Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. And today, I will be reading a Todoroki Extrader by just another person who hates life on Tumblr. So let's get into it. As he sat into the booth across from Todoroki, he smiled at him. He clicked his phone screen off, his attention turned to you. What's up? You asked, noticing that he had been texting someone. He sat slightly, obviously sounding a little annoyed. Just my father wondering where I am. He paused. You had met Endeavor only twice before, and you really don't want to know, especially since you and Todoroki were secretly dating. That would just mess everything up. You loved Todoroki and didn't want to have to stop seeing him. You couldn't even bear the thought of it. Todoroki was special to you. The problem was Endeavor didn't really approve Todoroki in taking time to date anyone or even hang out with friends. He was supposed to focus only on training and becoming the best hero he could be. I didn't answer. You hummed at him, picking up your glass of water the waiter had brought you earlier. They had only met Endeavor twice. You knew of his relationship with Todoroki, and how much the two clashed because Endeavor was a shit parent. He took a sip of the cool water and smiled before setting the cup down. Sorry it bothers you too much. You told him. He hummed at you and gave you a soft smile. It's okay. I'm here with you, not him. He felt your heart skip beat in your chest. Your face ran warm and you looked down, smiling slightly. Though it was a pain sometimes to have to hide the relationship, there were also benefits. Todoroki was as smooth as guys came in a relationship. Not only that, because you were willing to hide the relationship for the most part, Todoroki never let you feel like he was neglecting you. As the date continued, you and Todoroki conversing happily among yourselves. You noticed an angry person standing at the door, staring at you and him. He paused, immediately recognizing them, and your blood ran cold. Todoroki blinked, noticing your paling face, and he frowned. What is it? He asked. He turned to look where you were looking, and never having already made his way to step closer to the booth. You swallowed, fear coursing through you. Todoroki had mentioned that his father would surely be angry if he found out. But now that you could see his face, his father was beyond angry. It was clear that Endeavor was not bad. Todoroki was silent. Shoto, who is this? What are you doing here? You should be training. Endeavor growled sternly. Todoroki's body coursed with annoyance and anger at his father's words. He swallowed. Endeavor looked at you, his eyes narrowing. Who are you? I'm... Todoroki was pressed to stand up, tossing a few yen down on the table to pay for the pill. He grabbed your breast and pulled you to follow after him. As he made his way to move around Endeavor moved, blocking his way. Shoto, what is the meaning of this? Endeavor growled. Todoroki could feel her shaking a little. Shoto, I'll just go. Maybe you should talk with him about... He squeezed your hand, silencing you. You're on a date, aren't you? You know you're supposed to be focusing on. I don't care what you have to say about this. It's my decision. Todoroki interrupted, giving his father a nod glare. Endeavor's eyes narrowed at him. You shouldn't be messing around if you're going to take your place with me at the top. Endeavor grumbled, his eyes flicking to you. You, leave. I have things to discuss with him. You won't be needed here anymore. He yelled out. He felt a slight sting in your chest at his words. He went to slip your wrist from Todoroki's grip so you could leave. Todoroki slid and grabbed your hand, lacing your fingers with his. Endeavor's eyes flashed disapproval. Why am I believing? We're dating, and you can't tell us not to. Todoroki muttered at him. Endeavor paused, and Todoroki narrowed his eyes. Dating them does not distract me from my training, or from becoming the best hero. And even if it did, you have no say in it. A burning sound echoed in the room. He felt the anger coming off the Todoroki waves. The hate he had for his father evident. His hand was warm and gentle in yours, however, reassuring you that he was there when he let you leave. Todoroki's grip tightened slightly on your hand. We'll be leaving now, to finish our date. He started to move past his father. Endeavor spoke again. If you want to date someone, I'm sure we can arrange something with someone of a higher stature. They're not good enough for you, Shoto. Another muttered, and he went rigid, and they were sent to a burning look. Someone of a higher class would fit for you. Only the best. Todoroki was pissed now. He sent a harder glare at his father. What do you know? Their worth is more than yours, and anyone else's you claim is worthy being around me combined. They are the best. Now move. Todoroki shoved around his father, pulling you along. And they were watched after the two of you, and coursing through them in the disobedience Todoroki had displayed. It was nothing new to him, since Todoroki was always disobedient towards him in some way, and clearly hated him, and they would glare after him as the door dinged to signal it opening. He watched you stumble along to try and keep up with Todoroki's strides. As he marched out the restaurant with you, he sent one last look at Endeavor before the door shut, following after your boyfriend. Shoto, he muttered. He kept leading you away, pissed off that his father had figured out where he was. He stumbled to keep up with his long strides. Shoto. He didn't respond, seeming to almost pick up the pace. Shoto, stop! I can barely keep up. He stopped abruptly, and he slammed into his back, your face gliding with that. You pulled away, grumbling in pain, as you rubbed at your nose. He huffed, touching it. Ouch! Todoroki turned, looking at you. You blinked at him, then looked away, remembering the awkward situation you had just left behind. That situation with your dad. You frowned, feeling a little bit hurt by what Endeavor had said. You found yourself wondering if it was true. If Todoroki really should be with someone of a higher stature. Before you could even bring it up, Todoroki flung you into his arms, and you blinked in surprise. Todoroki sighed, pressing his face up against your neck. He gently set your arms up to hold him. I'm sorry, he murmured, and you blinked. He sighed and closed his eyes, pressing against you. I knew he would react like that if he found out. That's why I didn't want him to know. He paused. Shoto, I know you wanted to keep our relationship a secret. I'm not mad about it. I know that, he muttered. He pulled away, giving you a gentle look. Those things he said, they're not true. Your brows pinched together. He moved his hand standing over your cheek. Even if you were of a higher stature. Whatever. You're definitely worth more than what he thinks. He paused for a moment before leaning his cheek. I don't want anyone but you. And I don't care what he says. I'm not going to stop being with you. You sighed at him, closing your eyes. You shouldn't make him mad. So then I can stop being with you? Your eyes flashed open. I didn't say that. I'm kidding. But I could hold you. You huffed, knowing your boyfriend had somewhat of a dry sense of humor. You shook your head at him. And he hummed. I guess it wasn't a funny joke, given the situation. Yep, not funny at all. He hummed. You could see the anxiety from what just happened mounting off of you. You smiled at him gently. Are you alright? He murmured, then you hummed at him. He sighed, leaning forward. He rested his forehead against yours. After a moment, he hummed at you. You know what I said was true, right? You blinked at him. You're the best. You smiled slightly. I know you mean it. He surprised you by moving and gently capturing your lips with his. And after a moment, he pulled away. That's good. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.